Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. Anyone feeling perfectly capable of eating balanced meals for the first half of the day, but you just screw up in the evening and start eating a lot of unhealthy food? I'm not sure if it has to do with how my body regulates its hunger depending on the moment of the day, or if it's more about compulsive eating. What is certain is that I can't get over the urge to eat everything that comes my way in the evening. If I know I have chocolate and chips, I eat them all at once. If I know I don't have any, I start to get very irritable and fussy. Not to mention that I will always eat in the evening, because I just feel like I have to. It's like a compulsion. I just don't feel good if I know I haven't eaten, even if I'm not hungry most of the time. And this really sabotages my diet. I can't have a calorie deficit. Maybe I should start eating my first meal of the day at 6 p.m., but I know it's not healthy. What are your tips? I can so relate. I always exercise after dinner, so I just don't have time to eat. By the time I've showered and gotten my ducks in a row for the next day, it's just about time for bed. Plus, I drink a lot of water post-exercise, which fills me up. On the days I don't exercise, the struggle to not eat at night is real. This is a really great tip. Sadly, if I exercise at night, I'm so pumped that I can't go to sleep. Try yoga instead. It will give you some activity, keep you busy, and calm your mind without increasing your adrenaline. In psychology, this is called decision fatigue. You make the best decisions in the morning, but after an entire day of fighting temptation, it falls apart in the evening. Excellent point. I forgot about this. I started to pre-portion all my snacks, especially the chocolate and treats. Once I do that, I can grab a baggie, no decision. It's just the snack. It's made a huge difference for me. And this has been a lifelong problem for me. I finally figured out that if I can eat dinner by 6:30 p.m. and then immediately brush and floss my teeth after, I can convince my brain and stomach that eating is over for the day. It's been working, but of course, pandemic lockdown has definitely helped. No late night restaurant dinners out. It's stress related. You want something for being good all day. There must be a way to turn your cravings from food to some other thing that can take the place of or symbolize the day is done, you can relax now. For me, I make some flavored tea. I was never even a tea person until I started losing weight. Now I barely have cravings for bad food at night. It takes a lot of mental fortitude, and in my case, therapy. If I could just turn things off from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., I'd have 90% of my challenges beat, but I just can't fix this defect. I struggle badly with this too, but since having a meaningful workout each day, along with yoga and stretching, plus drinking a lot of water first when I get those hunger compulsions, I've already noticed a huge difference. I also simply never buy snack foods, so there's no easy temptation. If I want something tasty, I have to commit to making or cooking it. So if I really want something low effort to eat, I chow down on carrot sticks. Veggies on principle, I ignore the calories since they're nutritional. Because of this, I find I'm also liking the feeling when I go to bed and wake up the next day, and didn't eat late much more than eating, and then feeling guilting, gross, or needlessly full. I think if you can just get over the initial hump, it really starts getting easier. One technique I use is to require that everything that will go into my mouth gets logged first. If I want chips, I scan the package and count out a portion, and then put everything away and move to a different room before I start eating. Knowing how many empty junk calories I'm putting in my body keeps me from going overboard. Also, planning my dinners so I'm looking forward to them makes it easier to avoid the impulse of being hungry and just stuffing my face. I love this idea. It seems so simple, but absolutely brilliant. Instead of, oh crap, that indulgence was way more than I thought it would be, and feeling guilty, you make the choice about those calories before you consume them. Intermittent fasting is what works for me. I just eat between 12 and 8 p.m. No restrictions, but obviously counting calories. It helps your mind in the weighing process right before you would binge. It is easier to tell you that you can eat that tomorrow at lunch instead of just a plain no. The most effective strategy aside from that would be to not have anything unhealthy at home. Like nothing. If fruit is the most unhealthy thing in your kitchen, you are doing it right. I'm a person that needs to catch up with my body. I stand up and walk to the kitchen subconsciously. Once I learn to actively decide I should not eat right now, I just go back. Sometimes I do that lots of times in one day, but as long as it works, I'm fine with that. Binging is my biggest enemy. Same, and in my experience, it is because I'm not eating enough during the day. If I have a better balanced breakfast, I'm less likely to binge at night. However, it is also induced by stress or emotional situations. I was doing much better when I was tracking my food and keeping a simple meal plan of the same thing every day. That way, I don't have to think about what I'm eating and less likely to grab and binge. It's definitely different for everyone, but being aware is a big part of figuring out how to tackle it. I know I'm going to want lots of snacks in the evening, so I always budget my calories to have 300 to 400 left for my evening snacks. That's enough to have a couple of snack foods, one bowl with a really good ice cream, or even a small meal. I get to feel like I'm pigging out, but I'm really staying within my goal. I used to try to do that thing where you just don't eat after 8 p.m. That worked like 0% of the time. It's good that you have figured out your triggers, the availability of food, and evening hunger and cravings. What I usually did was this: remove all tempting food. When I felt the urge to eat coming, I would get up and take the evening shower and put on my PJs to let my brain know it's time to sleep, not eat. The hardest time to battle my urges was when I did nothing at all. Example, just continued to scroll through the internet or watching a movie. Then I had the perfect time to sit around and think about how hungry I am or how much I want to eat all the snacks. If you keep on stopping your urges, and if you change your responses often enough, like taking a shower instead of going for the cupboard, I believe you'll soon replace one habit with another. I usually get the urge to eat something sweet right after a large meal, lunch or dinner. Now I'm doing this. I force myself to wait at least 15 to 30 minutes after a meal, and if I still want it afterwards, I eat something sweet. But like 90% of the time, I realize that I'm not really hungry anymore and that I don't need to eat the sweets, even though I still might want it. I used to have lots of snacks available everywhere, and I just can't help eating them even when I was so full after dinner. Then I just learned to control my urge of buying any snacks in the supermarket. Yes, it's hard at the beginning, and I just want to storm out to the convenience store every night to get snacks, but after a while, not having any snacks available, I am getting used to it, and I don't have the craving anymore. Another method is you can make yourself as busy as possible from 7 to 9 p.m. Being active, like having a long walk, running, going to the gym, etc., and coming right to bed after that. Or what I do is actually drink light cream milk, which fills me up and won't put too much calories. Hope that helps. Ideas to try: intermittent fasting in the mornings, lighter meals earlier in the day to plan for the bulk of your calories in the evening, planning dinners and guilt-free desserts that you are genuinely excited to eat. We use Home Chef, and I've been trying a lot of new recipes off Pinterest, and that really helps give us more variety and ideas. Sometimes, if I'm having an inconvenient sugary snack craving, popping in a stick of flavored gum really helps. Really sit down with pen and paper and try to analyze your behavior. What time does this urge hit? What foods are you gravitating towards? What was the tipping point? Were you hungry most of the day leading up to it? How can you tackle these pressure points? And data helps you learn from your failures and address it in the future. The same problem here. I realized that for me, the main reason is that there is no closure at dinner. I eat on the sofa, the same place I spend my evening time on. With other meals, after I'm finished eating, I get up and continue with my daily activities. While after dinner, I tend to stay in the same spot for some TV or reading, and I think this might be the reason I continue snacking. My brain just thinks the meal is not over, so I go for a dessert or some other treat, which alone is a separate bad habit of craving something sweet after a meal. I've found that if I take a walk after dinner or do a chore, I feel I'm finished with eating. Brushing the teeth, as someone mentioned above, achieves the same result. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. I've been shy about sharing how much I weigh, but today I hit a milestone.